Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we'll talk about failure and how it's inevitable and how you should use it as a tool to uh, to drive yourself and use it as a tool to enforce, whatever mistakes you think you've made in the past. I think ultimately we have we don't have a lot of time on this earth to focus on failure and hold ourselves to that standard of like making mistakes. We tend to be hard on ourselves with the mistakes we've made in the past. And I'm here to tell you, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Live with your mistakes, learn from them, let them guide you to all the decisions that you've made. Don't hinder yourself from making more mistakes because that's how you grow. Like, you have to be relatable in a sense of like, not you're not perfect in what you're doing. Like I'm not perfect at what I'm doing right now, so I'm still learning like my craft and what my niche is and how I can be the best version of myself. Like you might think like this is the best version of me, but I feel like I could touch a whole nother level of a whole nother magnitude and push the scales even more. You gotta really sit down with yourself and know your faults. Look yourself in the mirror, like closely. Look at all the bad and compliment the good, because there's a lot of good in you as a person. We tend to like nitpick everything, whether it's how we look and how we dress or what car we drive, how far we can go with life. It's all about you, for sure, but you'll end up failing more times than not. Because I failed so many times, I can tell you that much. Like I failed countless and countless of times where I felt like what am I doing with this shit? Like I'm at the point of my life where I'm like, okay, it's like all the chips are in the middle of the table. Like you're pushing everything. The stakes are super high and the intensity is super high. And that's why we work the way we work, because we understand like there's a point where this is not gonna matter, and we're gonna be dead, and the only people who are gonna be at your funeral is the niggas who really fuck with you, whether it be your mom, your dad, your family. Like most people don't care about what you're doing, so that's why I'm saying continue to fail, continue to dictate your own destiny. Don't let anyone else dictate what you can do with your life. Like, granted, like we tend to we tend to like sulk up on who has this ideal of us. Like, what is this ideal of Calvin, and what does he do, and how does he do it, and why is he so happy all the time? Because I failed, nigga. I failed countless and countless of times where I've went into I went into jobs where I've gotten fired for bullshit. I've went into businesses where I've like failed egregiously. And like my boy Hod was telling me, he's a chef. He was like, "Yo, my nigga, like I've been down, nigga. Like I've been down where nobody's even known I was down, and I respect a nigga like that for telling me that, because I'm a young nigga coming up, trying to figure it out to the best of my ability. Granted, I have mentors and mentees who are like, yo, you do it this way, do it that way. Like, I'm not a big flexing type of nigga. Like, I'm cool with the little shit. The little things matter to me. So that's why I expect myself to be at a certain level. And when I don't reach that expectation, sometimes I feel like it can be a shortcoming. I'm here to tell you that's okay. It's cool to feel that way, but understand like what you are capable of and what you're destined for as a person. Stop being so nitpicky on a grander scale. Stop being so self-centered, because the world is bigger than you, it's bigger than me, and we have to understand how we can just fit in where we fit in and get to where we have to get to. For me, like, failure is not an option. It's failure is not an option, but it's a solution to all the problems, because you look back at it and you go, okay, from what point did I fuck up and fuck around and find out that that wasn't what I was meant to do? Why did I hit this wall? Why didn't I use this resource at this time? Why didn't I call this person for a certain amount of advice? And don't be afraid to reach out to people for advice, you know? Don't be afraid to reach out to people who are older than you, younger than you. Wisdom is wisdom on any level. So I take it and run with it, because our generation seems to feel like we know everything. And with the age of social media, you have everything at your fingertips, but you don't use it. It's going to come to a certain point in your life where you're going to look back at these situations and laugh and have a nice little chuckle at it, because you're like, what was I really stressing about when that was so small? So focus on the brighter situations, focus on the end results, focus on what you can control. I always say this. In totality, we have to be better every single day. We have to always be self-improving. Time management is always necessary. Engaging in activities is always necessary. Going outside is always necessary to understand, like, the outcome of life. It's a circle it's a circle of life. It's a circle of understanding. It's a circle of maneuvering through the grass and trying to find your way to the Garden of Eden, per se. You know what I mean? So understand who you are and what you are.
And question everything.